Elias Muhatia Shamala, a data analyst.
Yeah.
Just working myself so hard into data science.
How did you become a data scientist?
Through learning, training. I enrolled for a course in data science and machine learning. We were calling fundamentals of data science and machine learning at Great Learning in collaboration with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And actually they acknowledged me. I was so pleased to see them acknowledging me on LinkedIn. So if you check on my LinkedIn just recently, they shared my photo and had the message of my gratitude and the lesson I learned during the program. It was kind of my foundation in data science. Learned of machine learning models, neural networks, all machine learning models in short. How it's applied, we actually did real life examples. It was quite good. That's the place where I first developed a recommender system. I think it was in the sales. Sector. Yeah,
that's amazing. So it seems that it's very clear that you have a background in AI. The fact that you were able to take a course in machine learning from MIT, it's a proof that you have some background with the AI.
Absolutely.
So you did. You've mentioned something there. You said that you did develop a recommender system. So what is it? What is that?
I understand these are technical things. So we need to say them in a simple way that anyone can understand.
Exactly.
So I recommend the system. I'll use an example. The way you would you watch a movie on Netflix, and then the next day they are recommending, or you see another movie or series appearing, and it's almost the same or it's of interest to you. If you watch it, you like it. If you take another example, is buy a pair of watch or a pair of trouser on some online platform, and they recommend you a pair of shoes. How did they know that a pair of trouser goes with
a pair of shoes?
So they recommend to you something that you are most likely to buy. So that's what basically we call a recommender system. For those people who, let's say, sell perfumes, you'd be selling perfume and they recommend body lotion. That when you're looking smart, man, you need to look smart.
You need to smell smart also.
And there's so much that goes into developing that simple recommendation. We open your social media platform. You have some friends. Let's say you have 500 friends, and you realize among your friends they are recommending in your newsfeed. You can also find other friend requests or suggestions, friend suggestions that you can follow. Even the topics that you follow on social platforms, whatever I follow is not the same with what you follow. Because whatever I like or I react or I engage to could be different from what you engage to. So they will recommend to me what I like. Based on my interest, that's basically what is recommended to me. They will not recommend to you something you don't like. Because they want to maximize on profits. The essence of a recommender system is to optimize on what individuals or a group of people like. If I like movies on crime or love movies, fantasy, non-fiction, science fiction. So they'll basically recommend to me on that so that I can watch more and they make more money if I'm watching more. But if I don't spend a lot of time on whichever platform or buying, then they are losing.
Forgive me for telling you this. I think we don't have a microphone, so you have to speak louder for your voice to be captured by our camera. Shout, if it's possible, shout.
Next time you're not forgetting a microphone.
So the recommender system basically just looks at my online behavior, my presence, my footprint on the internet, what I like doing, and then it uses that data to recommend me something that
exactly the way the way you just said your behavior. You could be your tapping behavior. You click on links to do with the environment. And such related things. Then that is your behavior. Another behavior we could call a behavior anything. If you like opening your online shopping platforms, and there are specific things you check out for, clothing, or electronics. Maybe you are a person who deals with electronics, and then you always constantly checking electronics, phones, laptops. So they realize that is your area of interest. It's something you click on more or most every day. So that makes up your behavior.
Because also I also see the same thing in when I go through YouTube, when I browse YouTube. I'm a very huge fan of let's say like things to do with the cosmos, things to do with AI. So every time when I open my YouTube, the homepage, sort of like the homepage, like the first page I see, usually has videos which I have not yet watched, but are related to things that I like. Exactly. So is it the same thing?
If for those who like music, if you've subscribed to Diamond or Harmonize or Otile Brown, King Kaka, Calligraph, I'm trying to mix so that people don't say I'm biased towards Tanzanian artists. Otile Brown will release a song, and then you are not even aware. But when you open your YouTube tomorrow or in the afternoon, you realize it's on the first at the top. So why Otile Brown? Yet hundreds of musicians release songs every day. So that is. So
is it not because I've subscribed maybe to his channel?
Subscribing is part of your behavior. So there is subscribing and then watching. Because maybe you've subscribed to 100 other artists. But whom do you watch most?
Because I usually see that there are those channels which have not subscribed yet. But whenever they produce, they just upload a new video, it usually appears sort of like my homepage.
So that is another concept in data science. Graphical analysis. Graphical analysis is I like Otile Brown, you like Diamond, I don't like Diamond, you don't like Otile Brown. So you realize I like someone, you like someone, then also whatever I like you don't like. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say. And then all of us like Calligraph Jones. Okay, so how the graphical model is working is they are trying to link us up. That is why you will find that whatever you've not subscribed to, it's still appearing among the top. So they are simply connecting you to something else that is related to what people like you like. Even though you don't know that special artist or that special platform, but the people who like whatever you are talking or you are following or you're watching every day, they also like the other one that you've not subscribed to.
So probably you can like it and also.
High chances you like it because human beings, they tend to have almost
similar likings. That makes sense. So is it that's just a recommender system too?
It is a recommender system another because it's basically recommending.
Exactly, it recommends the videos to you. So we have mentioned artificial intelligence, AI, in short. So for a person who is not familiar with what that term means, can you kindly just explain to us what is AI in simple just explanations?
I think whatever we've been saying, we've already started to talk about artificial intelligence. But I remember when we started to share these episodes on artificial intelligence, and particularly people were interested in how it will affect the future of work. Someone asked me, when will this AI arrive in Kenya? And then I was like, wow, there is so much you need to do to pass information around.
Yeah.
So artificial intelligence is already here. It's already part of our lives. How I would describe artificial intelligence in the simplest way possible is a machine or a technological tool, platform, acting in an intelligent way. For instance, just the way we were saying on your online platform, that is basically a platform. But the fact that it's been developed in the back end, that it can look at your interests and kind of recommend something to you. See, that's like intelligence on its own. But the fact that it's artificial, it is not a human being who is doing a human being has only set up the system. But now the system is trying to
automatically.
It's acting like it's reasoning, or it's analyzing you, and then it's suggesting something, and in fact it ends up being 99% accurate. So that's in a simple way. Like we have smart devices. You have these lights. Let's take an example of movement sensitive lights. You're passing somewhere and then the light goes on.
Is that about intelligence, or is it just about, let's say, something like sensors, like say just sensors detecting and then just going off?
But what is that sensor in itself?
So it's just collecting this let's say like infrared information, and then
we would call it narrow. Maybe we come to that narrow artificial intelligence. It's basically it's been programmed, and now it is realizing that you've passed or you're about to pass, and then it goes on. Or else if it's a dead thing, it can't act like that. We talk of self-driving cars. Self-driving cars. The fact that a car will drive on itself on a highway with other vehicles.
Actually, just driving, you need to make a lot of decisions.
We go to school to learn
about.
We go to do exams. Before your license, if you misbehave on the road, the license is taken away. But the fact that machine can act on its own, doesn't go to school, it is trained,
and it makes very intelligent decisions.
In fact, it's better in its decisions than
humans.
It doesn't drink alcohol. But that's something else.
Though it's also a debatable thing that it's more intelligent than humans. But we are approaching a point where now it's going to be a reality.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, based on your experience with the AI and the encounters that you've had with people who ask you about AI, and I know because you're out there speaking about AI, most people might come to you and ask you questions about AI. So, maybe also through your reading and stuff, what are the misconceptions that you've been able to encounter in your experience regarding AI?
I've actually written an article just published on LinkedIn. Was it on Tuesday this week? You can check it out on my profile, Elias Muhatia. I talk about the different perspectives that people are using to look at artificial intelligence. There are those who are worried, and there are those who are optimistic that AI will come with massive opportunities, that we don't need to worry about losing jobs. So from those parallel perspectives, and we've already had an episode on parallel perspectives, it's already a foundation of misconceptions. In fact, myths and misconceptions. There are people who believe that AI will take over the world. So that is still debatable. At this point, it's a misconception.
That is still debatable.
It's debatable, but at this point, it's a misconception because human beings are actually involved in developing this. We at some point we actually said we can't explain how AI functions, but we understand the likes of Elon Musk are pushing so hard to have OpenAI so that we can understand what is happening when those codes are being put in place, that it will be explainable AI. So there is already so much research going into explainable AI that you can understand how ChatGPT functions. The fact that some people claim AI will take over the world, at this point, you can't sufficiently claim that because human beings are in charge and they are trying to look at the gaps. There are also some people who claim that AI is perfect, and that is a very serious misconception because
that's a misconception.
AI has massive biases,
and also it has hallucination problems,
and just so much more. So it's not perfect, it's still in the development, and that's why we're saying for those people who are in data science, data analytics, if you can venture into AI research, it's quite a good field to explore.
So though I might also be one of those people who are very concerned about AI, because right now, as you've said, we don't have that sort of like an apocalyptic situation where AI is going to take over the world. But it's because now we don't have AI which is able to program itself. Autonomous AI.
Absolutely. We are still we are not at the level of general artificial intelligence. It's always a mix up. Artificial general intelligence. The kind of intelligence which can reason beyond the training that you've given it.
And we're almost there. Next year, probably.
We're almost there. We've already seen reports that by 2029 we shall have it. In fact, we shall have super
ASI,
artificial super intelligence. So when you get there, I have actually written this. I made this argument, or I made this suggestion on social media, posted it around 2 weeks ago, that if human beings don't use AI, if AI doesn't wipe out human beings from the planet, human beings will use AI to make gods of themselves. It's like, I'm a god to myself, because if, let's say, human beings to some extent eliminate death using AI, you see, you're like God.
That's true.
And it looks to me like we're heading there.
That's one of the most probable cause of AI development. Because now with this AI we are going to attain some super intelligence, which is going to help us to fix the problems that usually ail us as humankind and make us weak.
You see what Elon Musk is doing with Neuralink. Neuralink, that an elderly person who has been suffering from Alzheimer, the loss of memory, they can regain their memory.
The memories.
They live.
Even people who have lost control of part of their bodies, they can regain that.
You are able to control your computer just by thinking. Man, we're becoming gods.
That's the godlike behavior, where you can just use sort of like telepathy, telecommunication.
So I can't imagine how it will look like when we can now say you can't die.
I think that will be very interesting, because now
or you can make a decision to die or not.
You can make that decision, and that it means that we are going to overcome this situation where we die because of old age. That is something that I know we are almost approaching that point right now.
So you see, when we deploy a super intelligence, artificial super intelligence tool to help us maybe restructure DNA in our bodies, and then just the way we attain GMOs, genetically modified goods, like products, instead of your chicken growing in 2 years, you're able to grow it in 3 months, and then you've eaten it. You don't know what human beings will be able to do with this artificial intelligence.
And I think right now, when you're talking about the gene editing, gene editing is already a reality, because it was accomplished through the CRISPR technology, which they used in the vaccines that were administered during the COVID era.
Very controversial. I just followed a very heated debate yesterday. Jordan Peterson with another guy called Destiny. So was that really a vaccine? So that is.
It was something different. It was something different.
It was unprecedented.
Yeah.
It has never been done before.
So very experimental.
We are in a very new era. And the fact that it was kind of tested on billions of people. In principle, it's argued that was unethical.
That's for sure.
So I know there's someone else who can confidently say, as long as people were alive and we did not die of COVID. But you look at it on the other side. What are the potential implications? What have we not yet realized from taking those vaccines in quotes? Anyway, let's focus on AI.
That's very interesting. We can almost digress away and discuss mRNA for almost an hour. So back to the to our discussion. So you mentioned that some of the misconceptions that we have right now regarding AI, we have things like people who believing that AI is going to take over the world. Which is something that is still heated, still debatable. Because we haven't achieved autonomous AI. But I believe we do have some other misconceptions, because people think that there's one that I've come across. I don't know if you have come across it also, where people think that AI, like it's computers thinking for themselves, like it's the computer having their own mind.
That's true. People think AI is creative. People think computers think on themselves. But if you don't know the technicalities of how these tools or models come to be, you might not know that someone actually trains data. If you're looking at machine learning models, someone trains the data and then it feeds into some model, and then it uses that trained data to predict something based on the results of the training data. So I mean,
and that's the key thing. It does prediction. So it's not thinking.
It's not reasoning.
It's not reasoning. It's just prediction.
So it follows logic to give you a prediction. But the way you would use your wisdom to make a decision on something, that's something that AI has not yet achieved. So people need to know that even though it is able to do millions of calculations within seconds, it still relies on what someone else has developed. And it's quite an interesting concept that human beings are able to develop tools that work thousands times better than them.
That's very interesting.
It's quite interesting.
That's very interesting. It's a marvel. I think the next question which I have, I think you've answered in many ways. I just wanted to know the examples of AI and the applications, and you have answered quite let's say quite broadly when you discuss about the recommender system that you're able to develop, because that's one of the AIs that we have in the current world. But maybe if you can add to that the examples of AI that you've come across and their applications in the world today.
I don't know what you mean by examples of artificial intelligence, because
it's a very nuanced question.
Because I understand we have narrow artificial intelligence, where you just program a machine to do a task for you.
So the examples that I'm asking here are just not tangible, but let's say like applications or something like that one. So like you gave an example of autonomous cars. Like that one's exactly.
I've already talked of a recommender system where you buy something and then something else is recommended to you. We have image recognition, where you use your phone to unlock. You use your face to unlock your phone. That is artificial intelligence at work. Smart devices at home, where you deploy a machine, let's say a lawnmower. It just cuts grass in your compound when you're seated. We have these that are cleaning the houses. So they are actually called in general smart home devices.
The Zumba. It's called the Zumba, which moves around cleaning your house.
It's called Internet of Things.
IoT.
IoT. Internet of Things. You check. We talked of Netflix recommender. We have Siri. On Google.
Siri is on Apple.
Siri is on Apple.
Yeah.
And Siri,
Google has Google Assistant.
Google Assistant. It looks like they borrowed that Swahili word.
It's Swahili actually. It's Swahili for secret.
Secret.
Yeah. So you tell it secret. Siri.
There is another that I just skipped my mind.
Alexa.
Google Translator.
Google Translator also. Yeah.
You let's say you tell Google translate for me this sentence into Swahili. Or German or French. And then it does it, and even it speaks. You can tell it to speak. So and so much more.
How comes you're avoiding the generative AIs?
Generative AI is ChatGPT. Actually, I remember I interviewed someone. I hope that person is listening, and I hope they're updating themselves. I interviewed someone on tell me examples of artificial intelligence tools, and he could not mention one. And I was a little bit sad. ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a generative AI. It's actually, if you delve deeper into the concept of artificial intelligence, the intersection of large language models and generative AI is where you have the likes of ChatGPT. So you give a command to ChatGPT and it gives you a response within milliseconds. So those are quite interesting things. ChatGPT, for those who know the other one, Gemini, initially it was bad.
Cloud. Is it Cloud or Claude? Claude. And then also Facebook has their own. I think it's called Llama, something like that.
I think Facebook was studying this thing before, and I don't know where they got lost. They came up with Metaverse. And then they got lost. And looks like Metaverse will be a big thing in future. For those who are interested in tech things, you can check out Digital Twin. Digital Twin is where you simulate things on your digital platforms, and then like you can construct a whole house on your device, and then you
can transfer it now
to the physical environment. So that's the element of digital twins.
I think it's going to be a big thing, because also you see companies like Apple now, they have developed the Apple Vision, which is now becoming a very useful product. Because now you can have sort of like a digital copy of the real world inside those goggles.
It's quite an interesting concept. When I came across it, checked some benefits. I've also written. It looks like nowadays I'm writing a lot. I've written an article on LinkedIn on the same as well. Digital twins and the massive potential that we shall see in the coming days.
So it's quite interesting that that AI is really advancing, and
quite so fast that sometimes keeping pace of it
can be nerve-wracking.
Because you think you are there, then after 3 months or after 6 months, you listen to some new inventions or new advancements, like whatever NVIDIA did some 2 weeks ago. It was March 18th. I was listening to that conversation, and
I was shocked by even I watched it, and I learned about the new GPU that they developed. A very small device which has packed so much power. That was
like all computers in the world
combined,
packed in a
very tiny space. That was a marvel.
That was something else. And the fact that you see, right now we're struggling so much to predict natural disasters. Take an example of a tsunami or a cyclone. Sometimes a cyclone will change its direction, and you can only tell after it has happened. But with this new technology, we should be able to tell with 100% precision that this cyclone is changing its direction even with a kilometer.
Why are you saying 100%?
Because that's where we are heading to. With the new GPUs that have been developed by NVIDIA, it calculates at a massive speed, and a very perfect prediction that you are able to tell this cyclone will not pass through Nairobi city. It will change its direction when it gets to Kajiado.
Actually, that is very interesting, because the other time when before they launched Blackwell, that's the GPU. I was listening to the conversation from Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google DeepMind, and also from Sam Altman, the CEO of ChatGPT. Yeah, so OpenAI. Yeah. So I realized that these two CEOs, they tend to have a sort of like not entirely, but somewhat different opinions about or what the next stages that are going to propel AI to AGI. And according to Sam Altman, the biggest stumbling block that they were facing in the development of AI, these AI models, was the power of these computers that they have, the GPUs that they had.
Yeah.
So it means that now with the coming of Blackwell, it means that this hurdle that Sam Altman was complaining about is going to be,
it's no longer a problem.
Yeah, it's no longer a problem.
I mean, for those who are in data analytics or data science, delve deeper into that area, because you realize you start to run a certain model. When you're talking of the power of GPUs, you realize at some point you try to run a model, it takes 24 hours or even more, and then still it doesn't complete. Maybe it completely fails because it has taken too much time.
Yeah.
But with these GPUs, you realize it's within seconds. You have something it will take days to complete.
Yeah.
So there is massive potential that is coming with GPUs. Is
graphic processing unit.
Graphic processing unit. So it's no longer CPU. Those who done computer packages. Central processing unit. We're now talking of graphic processing unit. So it's a massive advancement that we're seeing. I really suggest those who are in analytics, data science, computer science, to delve deeper, because you meet a computer science who tells you, I don't know much about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that's shocking.
It's shocking.